the first time in 37 years, professional football is back in Hartford, Connecticut. There'll be familiar names and faces here this afternoon. United Football League opener between Hartford and Sacramento. It's next on Nesson. Overcast day at Rentschler Field in Hartford, Connecticut, as we are set the opener between the Colonials and the Mountain Lions of Sacramento. And a good afternoon and welcome into the Men's Warehouse broadcast booth. I'm Mike Logan, glad to be joined by Scott Zolak as we've got what we hope will be very entertaining opener here with a lot of NFL feel, Scott, starting with the two head coaches.
Yeah, let's look at Sacramento. And, of course, you say the name Denny Green, and you remember back to the days in Minnesota, then on to Arizona. He's a winning head coach. He has pretty good tradition wherever he goes. Ties with Culpepper, which we will get to. And on the flip side, right here in Hartford, it's Chris Palmer, a guy I played for 4 years with the New England Patriots. Very good with his quarterbacks from Bledsoe. And right now, we're going to get to McCown. This guy is very good. Remember, he was with the Giants, with Eli Manning, helped him get a Super Bowl. Chris Palmer, happy to bring football back to Hartford.
Also, when it talks quarterbacks, they are both former NFL players and actually former teammates.
Yeah, it's interesting. Both guys have taken different paths. Talking about Dante Culpepper and Josh McCown. Josh McCown was offered a job to go back up Jay Cutler with the Bears on the eve of training camp here for the Colonials. He said, I don't want to do that. I want to play football. He's going to stay here. He wants to work under Chris Palmer. And Dante Culpepper just wants to play. You go back to when these guys were free agents, talking about Culpepper and Drew Brees. Everybody thought Drew Brees was going to be a Miami Dolphin. He ended up going to New Orleans. Culpepper went to Miami. And thus we have Dante Culpepper here today.
Time to welcome in the two other members of our broadcast team, Tony Terzi and John Chandler. We'll start with Tony. He's on the Hartford sideline.
All right, thanks very much, Mike. And Zoe, a distinct flavor of New England for the Hartford Colonials in their first year today. They've got 7 New England players with New England ties. They've got 4 former Huskies, including now number 26, Andre Dixon, who was their leading running back last year and leading them to that overtime win at Notre Dame. Ryan Glasper, a Southington, Connecticut high school product who played at BC. He starts at strong safety. And at fullback, the massive 6', 255-pound Asaph Schwab, who played collegiately at Notre Dame, but went to high school about 5 miles over the press box here in Hartford, Connecticut, and he's rocking some tattoos to honor his home city. He's got a Hartford Whalers logo, which we couldn't get a snap at today because it was under his tape on his wrist, but rocking the I-91 and the mask that would appear in the Hartford Current. So he is happy to be home, no doubt. John Chandler on the Sacramento sidelines.
Tony, thank you very much. A whole lot of eyes going to be watching with interest the way Dante Culpepper plays today for Sacramento. Of course, Culpepper had been hoping to start this year starting for an NFL team. It didn't happen, but here he is with Sacramento, reunited with 2 coaches who have been crucial into his development into a Pro Bowl NFL quarterback. Back with the Minnesota Vikings, of course, Dennis Green. But Mike Krusek, his offensive coordinator here in Sacramento, was his head coach in college at Central Florida. Now, Dante told me this is the first time since his days in Minnesota that he feels he can 100% trust his coaches. It's also the first time that he's felt 100% healthy, of course, since that knee surgery back before he ended up moving over to the Miami Dolphins. Now, the fascinating thing here is we've seen Mike Krusek wearing his Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl ring. Now, Dante smiled when he saw that because he says, look, Krusek never wore that. Rarely, if ever, back in college. You know it's a special occasion when he brings that bling out, guys. Back up to you.
And for more information on the UFL, make sure to go to fanhouse.com. The opening kickoff of this afternoon's game is coming up on Nesson after this. The United Football League on Nesson is brought to you by Men's Warehouse, the official men's retail clothing store of the United Football League. Men's Warehouse, you're going to like the way you look. By AOL Fanhouse. For more information on the United Football League, go to fanhouse.com. And by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to shop for insurance. And we are back at Rentschler Field. We'll head down to the field now. Tony has head coach of the Colonials, Chris Palmer.
All right, thanks very much, Mike. We do have Chris Palmer here. Did you ever think you'd be back after growing?
No, I didn't, but it's an exciting day. We've got a good crowd, and we're getting ready to kick it off.
There's something a little interesting here today. 2 series with McCown, and then you're going with Perilou for 1. Why?
That's correct. We want everybody to feel part of the game and know they're going to play and prepared as though they're going to play, and we'll see that happen here today.
Best of luck, Coach. John on the Sacramento sidelines.
Okay, Tony, thank you very much. Here with Sacramento head coach Dennis Green. Still get nervous here on game days, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Especially the first game of the season. You're just anxious to see everybody get out and play well.
Now, you've been all smiles with Dante Culpepper back in the fold here. You asked before bringing Dante back, though, that he send you a tape and take a look at all the plays from his time with Detroit. What did you see on that tape that convinced you that he can still play at a pro level?
When anytime Dante had a chance to make a play, he did. He can't make a play if you don't block, and he can't make a play if you drop the ball. But every chance he had to make a great throw, he did. Every time he had a chance to scramble, he could still run.
Coach, you did the same thing for Kurt Warner in Arizona. That worked out pretty well. Let's hope this works out well for you as well.
It will. Thank you.
Best of luck, Dennis Green, head coach of the Sacramento Mountain Lions. Let's head back up to the booth now, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, John, as we are just about set, Scott, for the opening kickoff here this afternoon. Sacramento will receive, as you see, Taylor Melhoff getting set to tee it up.
And Culpepper very excited to win the coin flip. Coming to the sideline, I've been watching him in pregame warm-ups, and he's a big guy. I know, Mike, he's listed at 6'4", 250. That's about my size. He's got me by about 20 pounds. He's pushing 270, but it looks like he can still move around, and he can make all the throws if you watch him in the pregame.
And we are underway from Hartford. It'll be Aaron Woods taking it at his goal line with room across the 10. And will avoid a tackle and brought down just out across the 15-yard line. Trey Battle on the tackle. Good kick coverage. It is a 16-yard return. And Dante Culpepper, 33 years of age. You see the height and weight that Scott just went over, and he is one of the marquee players in this league as he leads Sacramento out on a 1st and 10. They spot the ball at the Mountain Lions 16-yard line. As Culpepper quickly will throw on the first down, it's Otis Amy with the catch and a 1-yard gain. And this afternoon, starting lineups presented by Men's Warehouse, the official men's retail clothing store of the UFL. Men's Warehouse, you're going to like the way you look. And you see the go-to guys there. Teo Johnson, a product of Stanford University. Up front, Mike Mabry with some NFL time as well, as it'll be a 2nd down and long now for the Mountain Lions. And Culpepper goes with a long count. Off the play fake, he's looking to throw, still with time. It's knocked away and almost intercepted as Ryan Palmer stepped up and almost picked that off.
Yeah, timing's going to be an issue here early in the football game. A deep play-action fake by Dante Culpepper. And you got to take a look at the splits of these wide receivers. You could really tell one of those crossing routes was coming. They cut it down to the right side, and Culpepper really threw that ball just a second too late there, Mike.
And he's in a 3rd and long and will operate out of the shotgun. 3rd down and 8. That's Ross, Corey Ross, standing to his right. 2 wideouts at the top of your screen. And with time, he'll come near side and underthrow Otis Amy, and it'll set up a 4th down. As we take a look at the defense, brought to you by Men's Warehouse, and it is up front. Ogabasi, a product of Duke. Seawright also with some NFL time. And the linebackers, Franz Joseph is one of the captains, and you see the secondary there, Palmer with the big breakup a moment ago. As it'll be Tom Malone to kick it away. And Cindric Steptoe is awaiting the kick. It's a short kick. He's going to take it, get across midfield, and is tripped up. It is a 36-yard kick and a 5-yard return, but good starting field position, Zoe, for Hartford.
Yeah, and you take a look at McCown here, and this is a guy that really wants to play, Mike, and to think that, hey, I could go and I could still continue my career. I've been around the league. He's 31 years old. You go to Chicago and you sit behind Jay Cutler, you know for sure Jay Cutler is going to be the starter if he even throws 4 picks a game, so why not stay here? brush up on your mechanics. Chris Palmer, one of the best quarterback coaches in the game, and learn how to play football all over again.
Well, and you see Hartford open up with a different look out of the I formation on first down. And that's Dixon on the carry inside the 45, and he barrels his way down to the 40-yard line, a 7-yard gain on first down. Men's Warehouse starting lineup now, the official men's retail clothing store of the UFL. And you see Dixon there, the product of UConn, on that carry. Ronnie Gent, also another guy with NFL experience. And up front, Keith Gray is a UConn product, the starting center. So it sets up a second down and 3 now for the Colonials. And it'll be Dixon again looking for room outside. He gets it and gets a Hartford first down.
It's a nice run by Dixon, looking for some daylight on the outside. Good job by Ronnie Prude on the support. You see the good block by his offensive tackle, sealing the edge there, and you see the effort to get the first down, that extra lunge, which got him the extra 1.5 yards on that, Mike.
And it's interesting, Scott, right out of the first series, you see the differences. Culpepper coming out to throw, and a little more ground control attack, at least to start, by Chris Palmer.
Yeah, I'm surprised Palmer didn't take a shot early in the football game. He had a nice return over midfield.
And we have 2 receivers. You see them at the top of your screen. McCown to throw for the first time, angling it for Marquis White, and he can't come up with it inside the 10-yard line. As we'll take a look now at the Sacramento defense out there today, as you've got the 4 up front: Parker, Stewart, Schable, and Holmes. And the linebacking crew, Liam Ezekiel, a local product of New England. He went to Northeastern University. And Ronnie Prude is a cousin of the former NFL standout wide receiver Anthony Carter. So it'll be a second down now and 10 yards to go for the Colonials. And we get a whistle. And a flag is down. Going to be an illegal motion, it looks like, against Hartford.
Prior to the snap, false start, 75 offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
One of the number one concerns to start this football game, you're talking to Chris Palmer before the game, he said, I just want my guys to get in and out of the huddle, make sure you take a look at the play clock, let's play clean football early, and let's get set. He just wants to get through this first quarter, and it's interesting. Let's not forget, as Tony talked about earlier in the game, McCown's going to play 2 series. Then they're going to go with his backup Ryan Perrylew for a series. Just a little chance for everybody to get in the game and get the feel.
And a 3-yard carry there by Andre Dixon. On the tackle for Sacramento is Lewis Holmes in his second UFL season. Well, we were talking, Scott, about that before going on the air, and it's an interesting approach. Some coaches do it, some players like it, some guys don't. Yourself?
I understand the concept here. I mean, you're coming to play football in the United Football League, and you want the opportunity to play. That's why you're on these rosters. That's why guys like Josh McCown didn't go to the Chicago Bears, because you want to play. And not that they're promised playing time, but I think it's a good concept from Palmer's stance, because it's new. Everything's new to these guys right now.
Third down completion is good, but it's going to be about 1 yard shy as Patrick Carter hauls in the 11-yard throw for McCown as we get another look.
McCown did a nice job sitting in the pocket. If you take a look at it here, Mike, that ball's delivered, but what it did, it brought Carter back down the stem, which ended up being short of the stick. He takes him a little more upfield, right where that orange stick is. They've got a first down.
And it'll be Hartford going for it here on 4th down. So a big play early in this one as a man in motion at the top of your screen. Here's Dixon trying to get it going to the right, and he is hit and dropped back. Jason Parker led the charge that time for Sacramento, and it looks like he didn't come close.
Yeah, just a straight isolation play right out of the power eye. I'm surprised by this. I thought they may have run a little play action trying to get maybe the fullback on an angle route or a little swing route with Dixon to get him out in some space. But this is a basic guy, and you take a look at it, that's the fullback leading up to the right, and there's nowhere to go. That A-gap between the center and the guard, 2 guys waiting for the nice job by Parker, number 90, filling the hole to stuff that play.
And the Mountain Lions will take over on downs, and a fumble on the first running play, and falling on it is Corey Ross. Ross led the UFL in rushing last year, but had a hard time on the opening running play today.
Let's take a look at the exchange. It's a pretty good pocket. He just has so many pads up top on the chest, and Culpepper put the ball a little high right there. He's got to put it a little lower down in his stomach.
And Ross, 4th all-time in Nebraska in multi-purpose yards. He's 9th all-time in rushing, which, given the great running backs to come out of Nebraska, is quite the feat, as Culpepper will throw, and a nice attempt there, but unable to come up with it is Tyler Klutz, the fullback.
One thing you're always taught at the quarterback position, anytime you have guys that are fullbacks, tight ends, the bigger body type wide receivers, they don't have great skill sets as far as catching the football. You've got to be able to take that ball and put it in a spot where they can catch it and turn upfield. You start taking these tight ends, these fullbacks, and throwing the ball behind them, next thing you know, it leads to interceptions, deflections. It's one of the things Culpepper did when he sent the tape of his days in Detroit to Dennis Green. He wanted to see his mistakes, and some of those things he needs to fix.
So it is a 3rd down and long out of the shotgun, and Culpepper with a flag down is going to step up and run, gets a good block, and he's out of bounds out across the 35-yard line, but let's wait to see what the flag's going to be. 13-yard scramble.
Holding, 75 offense, 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay 3rd down.
Take a look at the hands. It's got to be the left hand, definitely, and that's a good call right there by Lightbody hooking him. And let's not forget, the only thing different from a referee standpoint, the umpire remains where he always was. If you're comparing the NFL to the UFL, the new rule this year with the NFL, they take the umpire and put him in the offensive backfield. Not so the case as you see him between the 2 middle linebackers in the middle of your screen.
So it's 3rd down and 20 now, with the ball back at the 16-yard line, and Culpepper with time's going to throw deep down the near sideline, and it is out of bounds. And good coverage that time. Ryan Palmer had the coverage for Hartford.
It's tough anytime you're a quarterback and you're dealt a 3rd and 28. The last thing you want to do is drop back and run a one wide receiver route on the outside with no sort of combination coming underneath it. And all he could do right there is take Joe West and just fade him out to the sideline.
So Tom Malone, product of USC in his 2nd UFL season, to get the kick away. And a little better kick this time will be taken, avoiding one tackle, and being hit and dropped is Jason Cherry just shy of midfield. 39-yard punt, 5-yard return. We'll take a break. Scoreless early from Hartford.
Ryan Palmer. Ryan, what are you seeing early on? You seeing a little bit of rust out of Dante?
Not really. He's a very experienced quarterback from the NFL, so he knows what defense we're in. He has a strong arm, so we just have to stay on top of everything and just play 4 quarters.
And on that 3rd and 20, you had it covered deep.
Oh, yeah, no, that's my job. They put me out there to lock it down, so that's what I'm paid to do.
Back to you, Mike and Zoe.
All right, thanks, Tony. A 1st down for the Colonials just on their side of the 50-yard line, and McCown's going to throw, and again he's looking deep. Cherry is the intended receiver, makes the catch, and is out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Colonials, a 44-yard passing catch.
It's a nice catch by Cherry, heck of a throw by McCown. May have to take another look at this, though. You wonder if he's juggling this ball going out of bounds here, Mike. And you go back to the Detroit game in the National Football League last week that everybody was talking about. The receiver, not only does he need to catch it, but you see the ball come out at the end right there. Does he maintain possession through the catch?
Well, they ruled that he did, so it'll be a 1st down and goal, as McCown's going to give to Dixon, and he finds the going tough in the middle. He gets it down to about the 4-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain.
It was a really good route by Cherry, though. What he did, he allowed the quarterback to have some space to the outside. As we saw earlier in the previous series with Culpepper, his receiver West was right up against that sideline. There was no area for him to fade him to. And what Cherry did, he allowed 4 yards between himself in the boundary, which allowed McCown to fade him to the outside, and that was a heck of a throw and catch.
So now the Colonials with a 2nd down and goal, trying to get the first score of the afternoon. McCown's going to loft it to the end zone. It is knocked away. Good defense. That time Ronnie Prude, the left cornerback, got up and knocked it away from Marquis White.
Prude played his ball at LSU. Coming out of the SEC, a lot of good talent. All McCown could do right there is give his guy a chance, and that's what he did. But you see Prude, he's looking for the football the whole way, and they will not call pass interference if your head is turned, looking back for the football, and you attempt to make a play on it. The defender needs to have just as much a chance as the offensive guy.
And on a 3rd down, McCown is going to operate now out of the shotgun. So brings a receiver down from the top of the screen. Is going to go that way. It is caught. It's a touchdown to Marquis White. Nice grab, a low throw, and the Colonials are on the board first. And one of the things in the UFL, though, is that they want celebrations after scores.
You want celebrations, not taunting. They encourage it here in the UFL.
And now Melhoff, left-footed kicker, attempt the extra point. And the kick is up, and it is good. And with 9:17 to go in the opening quarter, it is a 7-0 Hartford lead.
Let's take another look at the touchdown. Marquis White at the top of your screen. Great throw by McCown.
Early lead for the Colonials. Back to Rentschler Field after this. Early lead for Hartford on a touchdown by that man, Zoe, as we get another look at the throw by McCown.
Yeah, it's Marquis White, but what they did, they brought him down in some short motion, and we used to run a ton of that with the Patriots when Chris Palmer was there, and you see him at the top of your screen. That ball's thrown only where his guy can get it. That's what you like to see out of your quarterback this early in the game.
That capped off a 4-play, 50-yard drive and gives Chris Palmer and the Hartford Colonials the early 7-0 lead. So Melhoff will kick it away for a 2nd time here in the quarter. And again, it'll be Woods taking it to 7 with room up the middle, 20, 25, and he is hit and brought down around the 28-yard line. We'll go down to Tony Terzi.
All right, thanks very much, Mike. We're here with the man on the marquee, Marquis White. Man, you score 4 touchdowns for Spokane, lead your team over Tampa Bay in the Arena Bowl, and now you just pick up where you left off.
Hey, man, it's one of those things, man. It was a fast-paced game for me in the arena. I'm picking it up outdoor, and I thank God for giving me the best of my ability to make that catch.
2nd possession for the Hartford Colonials ever. You go in the record books as the 1st touchdown ever.
Yeah, man, I can't say it enough, man. I just want to keep working and keep getting better every day.
Marquis White, back to the booth, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, as Corey Ross has a good carry of 7 yards on 1st down for the Mountain Lions.
What we got to do right now?
One of the interesting concepts, Mike, defensively with the UFL, you basically have to play a 4-3 defense, meaning you need to have 4 down linemen with their hands down at all times, and all 4 guys need to move forward and rush the passer. They can't back off. The most you can rush is 6 players. As you take a look at it, 4 guys down up front with 3 backers behind them.
And a quick throw here and a catch to Rod Windsor, and he's run out of bounds shy of the 30-yard line. It is a 5-yard catch. Marcus Brown on the coverage. And the other thing, Scott, you mentioned about the rushing, there's a penalty if you rush more than 6. It's a 15-yarder.
Correct, and the linebackers need to be set no closer than the feet of the down lineman. That's a good look at Marcus Brown. Reading the quarterback's eyes, sees the ball, and then goes straight to the receiver.
Mountain Lions with a 1st down at their own 40-yard line. See the man in motion here, and Culpepper's going to give it to Ross, and he'll get a couple of yards, and that's it. As leading the way that time was Maurice Fountain for Hartford.
They're trying to get Culpepper going in this game. Earlier in the first 2 drives, And this is the wham play right there with big number 41, Robert Bourne, bringing it back down inside. They brought him in motion, trying to establish a little bit of a run, prevent Dante from being in 3rd and long, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 8.
He's going to throw again to this side. Onisemi has the catch and is immediately dropped again by Brown. Will set up a 3rd down and about 3 for Sacramento, a 5-yard gain.
I know this is opening day for the UFL, especially for Sacramento, but it looks like right now, just based on certain wide receiver sets and what they're doing offensively, that Amy's going to be Culpepper's guy. You know, they've tried to go to him 4 times in this football game already.
And on a 3rd down and 5, he's going to operate out of the shotgun once again, as he's got time and he's got a man, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Darryl Strong, out of Pittsburgh, but good coverage by Tank Daniels for Hartford.
Tank Daniels, one of the defensive captains for Hartford, covering the big tight end. Chris Palmer's got to be happy so far. You know, just with the process of getting in and out of the huddle, getting the calls in, having the right number of men on the field. We've seen them several times now in special teams units. Their field position, starting field position, has been pretty darn good.
And you look there at Tom Malone, who will kick it away. Cindric Steptoe, awaiting the kick, will run up, avoid one tackler, but will be hit and dropped down on good coverage that time by Dennis Keys for Sacramento. It is a 35-yard punt and no return that time.
It's a good job by number 17, Tay Biddle, being the first guy down to force that outside. As we get a good look now at Ryan Perilou coming into the game to play quarterback.
And as we mentioned at the top, it'll be McCown for the first couple of series, and then Perilou in. And on the first down, the hand is to the backup back, Lorenzo Booker out of Florida State, who's got time with both the Dolphins and Miami, and he peels off 7 on his first carry.
Well, I remember when Booker was at Florida State, they used him as such a 3rd down back, just a quick guy that would come out of the backfield. And take a look at the spin action right here, his ability to read, and just a quick spin right inside, number 51. You know, Robert Bourne had him dead to right in the middle.
So Perilou will operate out of the shotgun now in a 2nd down and short, and will hand it off to Dixon, and nowhere to go. He is dropped for a loss as 4 white shirts, Lewis Holmes and Dontarius Thomas, in on the tackle. It's a 1-yard loss.
So we'll find out what Perilou has now. He's looking at about 3rd and 8. Chris Palmer said this week he had a 68-yard frozen rope in practice. Loves the kid's arm. Says he reminds him a ton of Tony Romo. And Chris was quarterback coach down with the Dallas Cowboys back in 2006 prior to going to the New York Giants.
And it'll be a 3rd down and 7. Perilou with time, throws, and it is incomplete as he overshot his intended receiver. That was Patrick Carter, out just shy of the 30-yard line.
Just about 10 feet too high. He said that's one of the problems with Perilou, though. He says he reminds him of Romo, but the guy that he idols and admires is Brett Favre, and he and Brett Favre have the same agent in Bus Cook. So, you know, Favre is one of those guys that could throw the ball through the wall, and sometimes it took Brett about a quarter and a half till he got settled down in games.
Jai Bond gets the kickoff, and it will be rolling out of bounds, not touched, and we are going to step aside. It's a 7-0 Hartford lead, 37-yard kick by Bond. We're back after this. Colonials have a 7-0 lead, back to the sidelines, and once again, here's Tony.
All right, thanks very much, guys. We have Josh McCown with us, and Josh, tell us a little bit about how the game has been for you the first couple of series. Did it kind of speed up a little bit on you at the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, you know, so far so good. We had a good little drive going there at the beginning. Went forward on 4th down, you know, and they did a good job of stopping us. but you know, the defense is playing great right now and gave us another good opportunity at some good field position, and we're able to capitalize that second drive.
You punched one in. Is it kind of a giant sigh of relief for you and say, all right, that's what I'm supposed to be doing?
Exactly, yeah. You just want to get that first one out of the way, and more than anything, it's good for our team to win the game. I mean, you got to score points, and so you know, we're happy about that one, but we got to keep going.
What about this rotation with you and Paraloo? You okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, for this thing, it's a league that we want to develop players, you know, and that's what this league's about. And so to give a kid like Ryan a chance to play and get a series in and mix him in, that's going to be a great opportunity for him to get some experience. We don't have preseason games in this league, so for us, we've got to be able to see what Ryan can do, and so it's a great opportunity for him to get his feet wet too.
Josh McCown with us. Back to the booth.
All right, thanks, Tony. As Culpepper will scramble and get out close to midfield. Maurice Fountain on the tackle after a 5-yard scramble by Culpepper.
McCown's been such a good mentor to Paraloo. As we take a look at Culpepper here, you know, not a lot of things going on outside, and this is one of the great things that he had early in his career in the NFL. Dante Culpepper's legs, his ability to make plays with those legs. Prior to that knee injury, he was a dual threat on the outside.
Oh, and John Chandler was saying in the pregame that Culpepper said the other day, though, that his legs feel good for the first time in about 3 to 4 years as he looks to throw. Here, it's incomplete. He was looking for Rod Windsor inside the 30-yard line. Good coverage that time by Kyle Whitehurst.
Having that type of knee injury where it's an ACL, it takes you a long time to get over that, especially, you know, mentally when you get past wearing the brace, and he's not wearing any protection out there on those knees. So it tells you he's confident in his body and his ability to move around, and he feels safe in the pocket right now.
Well, Tom Malone's got a lot of face time in this first quarter. He's back out there for another punt. And again, a good snap, and gets a high short kick off, and coming over and making the fair catch is Jason Cherry. It's a 38-yard kick by Malone, and the Colonials will get the ball, and for the first time really not have great field position to start.
Now, take a look at McCown coming back into the game, but you know, you talk about Malone punting there, and it's this new style of punting that they've been working on for the last 2 years. That was a 38-yard kick, but it was end over end. And it's that style where they try and pooch kick it down inside the 20, down inside the 15, where the ball is able to just hit, bounce, and stay right there if it's not fair caught.
And movement at the line. Looks like A.J. Schabel got a piece of one of the offensive linemen. Looked like he hit Orrin Thompson, and that led to the flag, and it looks like it'll be an offside.
Encroachment. Defense, 91. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, you see the voice inflection and the head bob right there by McCown. Some referees will call that. Some will let that slide. It's a good job mixing up his snap count.
And it'll be a 1st and 5. And Dixon gets the call again. He's got a first down and more as he's out close to the 30-yard line. It's an 11-yard gain by Andre Dixon.
It's nice patience by Dixon. Reading his blocks, picking his avenue. It's just going off tackle. You see the delay right there. Good blocking by his right guard, taking out 3 guys.
Schwab is into the game. He's the fullback, but again, Dixon will get the carry, and he'll be driven to the turf by Liam Ezekiel, a product of Northeastern University, a 5-yard gain. Back to the snap count, so is that something that some guys don't pay as much attention to, and it really can become a good weapon?
It depends on coaching. And you take a look at Dixon here hitting Ezekiel, and Ezekiel's 245 pounds. Dixon does a heck of a job lowering his shoulder, getting it into him, but snap counts, it's a product of your environment. If your head coach is aware of it, and he's telling the quarterback before he goes into that huddle or he's on the headset, hey, it's first snap right here. Let's hold our water in this one. Let's try and get a quick 5. Well-coached football teams will mix up their snap counts.
Coun's going to throw, and a nice grab by Patrick Carter. A one-handed grab, about a 5-yard gain by Carter.
See, that's the type of throw I'm talking about when we talked about the tight ends and the fullbacks. If this is a tight end, this ball's hitting the sideline. athletic guys that are on the outside, your perimeter guys are able to make those type of catches. And that's just a quick double out to one side. Nice effort by Carter, getting an extra yard and a half.
Patrick Carter out of Louisville had a brother, Tim, who played in the NFL. As we're inside 2 minutes to go in this first quarter, and the Colonials putting together a pretty nice-looking drive. Dixon, the lone back, again will get the call, and again finds a seam. A.J. Schabel finally brings him down, but not before an 8-yard gain by Dixon.
Great push on the right side of this offensive line. And Dixon has shown good patience here today, Mike. It seems like he's starting to get his feet under him, and 2 no gains early in the first quarter, and now all of a sudden he's starting to get a feel for it. He's popping off some 5, 6, 7 yarders.
And it sets up a second down and 2 now for the Colonials as they are just shy of midfield.
Good chance to take a shot here, second and short.
Instead, they will again give to Dixon, and he appears to have himself a first down and across midfield as they are doing a nice job running over the right side of Isaac Souls, the guard, and Pete Clifford, the tackle.
It's been predominantly to the right side. Let's go look at Chris Palmer going over his play sheet. Now on that play sheet, everything is sectioned off. He's got a second and short, second and 2 to 5. There may be 6 plays in there. Third and 8 to 11. He's probably got a group of about 20. And what he and Josh McCown and Ryan Perrilloux will do before the game, sit down. Let's go over what we like in these situations and what we don't like. If there's any hesitation, let's throw it out of the game plan.
And the Colonials with another first down. Again, Dixon, the lone back. It's a play fake this time, though. McCown will throw incomplete. That ball might have been deflected. Shahir McBride was the intended receiver.
Good pressure by Jason Parker, the big defensive end for Sacramento, which forced McCown, I think, to pull the string just a little too soon on that one. Here's a good look at Parker. Played his ball at Arizona, University of Arizona, 6'3", 265.
Schwab back into the game now as a little delay will come to Booker as he breaks one tackle coming to the near side, and he's pushed out of bounds. And Lorenzo Booker with a nice carry of 13 yards and another first down. Flag is down, and we'll wait to see what this call is going to be, but a nice run by Booker.
Yeah, it's good. It goes back to what the Dallas Cowboys used to run when Tony Romo first started, that quick pump fake, and it's that delayed draw.
During the run, holding, 86 offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, second down.
That is the one nice thing, though. We haven't seen a lot of penalties in this first quarter.
No, it's been a clean first quarter. And that's what Coach Palmer was concerned with. See, it's the hands on the jersey right there on number 31. Looked like Robert Bourne, his jersey was grabbed, and anytime the ref sees that, they're going to call it.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter of football. So a 7-0 Hartford lead at the end of one. We will take a break. You're watching the United Football League on Nesson. The United Football League on Nesson is presented by ConAgra, by Rydell, and by Lions Den. We'll send it down now to John Chandler. He's on the Sacramento sideline.
All right, thank you very much. Here with wide receiver Otis Amy. Otis, tell me about the timing right now with Dante Culpepper. It looks like you guys are still trying to find things and work things out.
Yeah, it's not so much the timing. We've had a long camp, that we just got done with. We need to settle down. It's our first game of the season on the road. So we just need to settle down and just make plays like we've been doing all training camp.
It looks like he's looking for you. I mean, are you kind of his favorite target? Have you guys worked that out chemistry-wise?
We've been doing a lot. It's really about who gets open. It's not necessarily their favorite guy right now, it being the first game. But, they're looking at me to make a lot of big plays, so I got to step my game up these last 3 quarters.
Now, you started your professional career with quite a bang in 2005 with the San Francisco 49ers. Your first regular season touch on a punt return, a 75-yard touchdown. Are we going to see you returning some punts and kicks here this year?
We'll see. Right now, they got me number 2 because I'm doing so much on offense right now, but we'll see. They definitely have me doing a lot at practice, so, it's really up to the coach's discretion.
I mean, you set the bar pretty high now, man, with that 75-yard punt return.
Yeah, I know. Now it's time to show the world that I'm a receiver, so got to go make plays on offense.
All right, Homer to Sammy, thank you for your time. Let's send it back upstairs to you guys.
All right, thanks, John. Patrick Carter, a 6-yard catch on first down, and now McCown back to throw again. And again, it's Carter, first down and more, down the sidelines and out of bounds as he is down and inside the 25. He goes out at the 24-yard line. 19-yard catch and run by Patrick Carter.
Carter did a nice job at the top of your screen. They took Gent, the tight end, and ran him on a seam route. And all they did was run an underneath crossing route. It's quarterback's best friend. Two-yard pass play turns into about a 30-yard gain.
And another Colonial first down as they've put together a nice-looking drive here as we are in the opening minute of the second quarter. Play fake to Dixon, and McCown with room, and he hits a tight end who makes the catch, juggles, and holds on. It's Ronnie Gent, who, good job of concentration there. That ball almost came out.
Yeah, it did, but great play fake by McCown. Both safeties for Sacramento cheating up around the 12-yard mark. Chris Palmer trying to get his offense going. Watch the head. It's a good play fake by Dixon on the outside, and all you're doing is get him outside the pocket, get it into Gent's hands, and let him make some plays with it.
4-yard gain on the first down play. Again, Dixon, the lone back. And he'll get the football this time, get a nice block. He's inside the 15 and has another Colonial first down at the 12-yard line, an 8-yard carry by Andre Dixon.
Watch Dixon get to the bottom of your screen here, and you're going to see Ronnie Prude, number 21, the cornerback. We've called his name a couple times. Come in right there and be able to step through the tackle. It's about the 5th time today we've seen Dixon get extra yards after the first point of contact.
And the Colonials drive continues as they are down to the Sacramento 13-yard line. And McCown looking straight to throw. He's got time. He will fire it to the back of the end zone. He's looking for Carter, but ran out of room.
Colonials showing a very balanced front right now. See number 85, Devry Tyson, talking it over with McCown. McCown expected him to do something there. They were with the ace personnel. When you say ace personnel, it's 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and a single back. And you're having both tight ends with their hands on the line of scrimmage, and both wide receivers are the off.
Good start for Josh McCown. You see the numbers there, 7 completions, 492 yards and a touchdown.
With 2 smart throwaways, which not a lot of people factor in. You forget the incompletions are some of your best throws.
Here's Dixon with a good lead block by Schwab, and he gets the ball down inside the 10-yard line.
First game of the season for both teams. Offensively, Dixon getting a lot of work here throughout a quarter and a half. Shows really good footwork, local product. They love this kid here. Last thing you want to do is have a penalty or a holding call, and that's what Josh McCown is telling his huddle right now. He's smart with the football down here inside the 10-yard line.
3rd down and 5 now for the Colonials, and McCown will go back to the shotgun. See the C in the jersey. He's the offensive captain, and McCown under pressure is going to be hit and sacked. A.J. Schabel was in there along with Jason Parker, and they met at the quarterback.
No chance to do anything with the football there. Shotgun all the way. I mean, he should have been protected right there. That's just not a very good job by the right tackle and right guard communicating. All they did was run a simple twist, Sacramento did, to get the McCown.
And now Melhoff to attempt a 34-yard field goal. Good spot, and the kick is plenty long enough. And it is good. So the Colonials add to their lead, and they lead it 10-0 in the second quarter. Back on Nesson after this. And Melhoff's 34-yard field goal giving Hartford a 10-0 lead. As you see there, the Sacramento defense, and I would say so early on, it just looks like Hartford has a better rhythm as an offense so far than Sacramento has as far as moving the football.
Yeah, I think they have a better thought process as to what they want to get accomplished. And anytime you could go out and you could run the football like they've been able to do with Dixon and you stay with it, it opens up some play action, and they made some plays.
Here's Aaron Woods from his goal line, and he'll get the ball out to the 20-yard line and be pushed back from there. And we will take a break, back with a Sacramento offensive possession after this on NESN. Back at Rentschler Field, where the Colonials have a 10-0 lead in the opener for both of these teams. And Dante Culpepper and the Mountain Lions with another opportunity as they'll start 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. As a man will come in motion to the bottom of the screen, Culpepper to throw to that man. That's Klutz, the fullback, and he is hit and immediately dropped there. As we will head down to the sidelines now to Tony Terzi.
When Mike, when last series for the Colonials, when they were stopped on 3rd down, Josh McCown was sacked. Lorenzo Booker comes running off the sidelines with a smile on his face. Chris Palmer said to him, "Lo, what happened?" He said, "Coach," and he slapped him on the rear end and said, "Don't worry, we got you, we got you." They're playing with confidence on offense, Mike.
Well, they certainly are, and they have 10 points to show for it right now, as that's Kai Brown in motion both ways, and a good play fake by Culpepper, trying to buy himself some time. He's going to run now, angling by a defender, and Simone Lawrence forced him out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
It's amazing watching Culpepper get to the outside. He looks like he did about 6 years ago. You see so many guys post-knee surgeries, post-reconstruction, they really lose a step. And not that he had to struggle with weight, but he's just a big guy, Mike. I mean, 6'4", 260 plus.
He certainly doesn't move like it, though, and he has looked good mobility-wise in this opening half. There's a quick toss to Ross, and he has dropped down. Nice job coming in by Manny Collins. It's a 1-yard loss as we'll head down to John Chandler.
All right, here with A.J. Schobel. Great play on McCown earlier. That's a big stop for your defense. Confidence.
Yeah, we've kind of had our backs against the wall this first half. It's just nice to get back out here and play again, and I'm just excited for everything to get rolling again.
How do you slow down now Josh McCown in this offense?
We just got to stick to our technique and do what we're coached, and then just apply that to the field, and then we should be good.
All right, A.J. Schobel, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Let's go back up to the booth, guys.
Well, that sack we saw presented by AOL Fan House as A.J. Schobel got the sack, and now the kick is caught by Steptoe trying to get a block going the opposite way, and he's forced to step out of bounds. A flag is down. I think we saw it on the replay there. Going to probably be a block in the back.
There's going to be 2 calls. One closer to the Hartford sideline. But the first call, the egregious block in the back, that's definitely coming back.
As Perry Havener, our referee, will make the call.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 58 on the receiving team. 10 yards from the spot of foul. First down.
Stanley Lansana, a UConn product. As we will step aside with the Colonials leading the football game 10-0. We'll be back to Rentschler Field in a moment. Colonials with the 10-0 lead. You see the time remaining in the first half as Hartford will start another offensive possession once again, and they have looked very good thus far. Josh McCown off to a solid start in the first half. Andre Dixon is the long back, but McCown's going to throw this time across the middle. Nice catch by Tyson DeVries, his tight end. He's out across the 40. And a first down on the 23-yard throw by McCown.
Boy, that was a heck of a throw right down the seam by McCown. Take a look at his head, looking to safety off to the right side. Just that one little instant. He saw that crease and the placement of the football, taking care of DeVry. If he let him a little further inside, Mike, that free safety's coming over to light him up.
Tyson DeVry spent 2 games with the New England Patriots back in 2008. He's a product out of Colorado, 6'6", 250 pounds. So first and 10, the ball is at the 41-yard line off the play fake. McCown to throw again, this time deep down the sidelines. Got a man open, caught. Cherry, 10-5, touchdown. Jason Cherry, a touchdown reception, 59 yards, and it's 16-0 Hartford.
Hartford is beating Sacramento in every single phase of the football game. Nice pocket, good play fake. But the key to this catch, and just like earlier in the football game, little double move, little freeze move by Cherry, but he doesn't force himself to get pinned on that sideline. He did a good job slowing down and using his body to help himself make the catch.
Melhoff to attempt the extra point, trying to make the lead 17, and he does. So an impressive drive by the Colonials. Josh McCown celebrating on the sidelines. It's a 17-0 lead. We're back to Hartford after this. It's a 17-0 lead, back to Tony.
All right, thanks very much, guys. We're here with Jason Cherry. Put the cherry on top.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that play and what have you been seeing out of their DBs that allowed that to work?
On that play, I was seeing that the DB's a little flat-footed, a little tensy, but I knew if I could just get to them as quick as possible, whenever they turn around, I'll be ahead of them. So I just seen an opening, so I just took it.
Got to ask you, anybody ever tell you look like Chris Rock?
A lot of people. Chris Rock, Chris Tucker. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Congratulations. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Tony. As Melhoff into the football, as the Mountain Lions will get another offensive possession, as the ball is taken by Aaron Woods out across the 20 to the 22. It's a 12-yard return. And the Mountain Lions will start from there. And so they're trying to get the offense going, as they have not had much to show in this first half.
No, they haven't, Mike. You're right. And they've got to get something going. If it's got to go to the screen pass, the draw, do something creative, maybe run in reverse just to ignite this offense. They've been very lackluster. It seems like they're just lining up to run plays.
With the 3 receivers to Culpepper's right on this first down play. And a quick throw, and that is complete to Joe West, and he's out just shy of the 30-line line. We'll check in with John Chandler.
Yeah, just listening in here to the defensive huddle as defensive coordinator Ricky Hundley preaching to his defense as he smacked his hands together for emphasis. Folks, we need to hit harder. We need to bring the intensity defensively. We need to get back to the way that we know how to play it. Now, there are 7 starters returning on this defense, 6 of them up front. They pride themselves on being an attacking, swarming defense. Coach Hundley is clearly disappointed that they've gotten away from that, and he'd like him to get back to it here in this game.
And Corey Ross didn't find much room there at all. A 1-yard carry as he ran into 4 blue shirts.
Led up front by number 97, Mikael Spicer. Right here, you look at him coming down, fighting through blocks, getting his hands on the ball carrier, grabbing anything he can. And then, as you said, Mike, 4 guys, 5 guys around the point of impact. Defense, you got to go to the football, and that's what they're doing right now.
They're down in 2 now for the Mountain Lions. Short drop by Culpepper, and the throw is incomplete as he was trying to hit Tate Biddle on a little slant, but it'll be another 3 and out for Sacramento.
Boy, Dante stepped up. It's 3rd and 2. That pocket went all around him. He stepped up. He could have ran for 20 yards. He ended up throwing it sidearm, trying to force a slant to the backside. Right now, he's 5 of 12 in this football game.
Tom Malone back out there for yet another punt here in this first half. 7:13 to go until halftime, and the punt is blocked. Marshall McDuffie got in and blocked the punt, and it is recovered by Lawrence, but it's Marshall McDuffie who came in with the punt block, and a big-time play by McDuffie, who's out of Florida International.
As we said earlier, Hartford beating Sacramento to every single punch, every phase of the football game. Right side of your screen, you see him come in and does a nice job laying out, going for the football where it was going to be kicked and not the actual kicker. You pick a point 3 yards in front of the punter where that ball's going to be, you lay out, and bang, it gets the block.
And the Colonials start in excellent field position right at the Sacramento 20, already leading 17-0. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the second quarter. And Ryan Perilou is into the game at quarterback. And it looks like we've got a timeout down on the field. And a look there at McDuffie, who comes up with the big play on special teams.
Timeout coming from Sacramento.
Well, we'll step aside. It's a 17-0 Hartford lead. We're back after this. Tonight, the Sox take on the Toronto Blue Jays at Fenway Park. Join TC and Peter Gammons for a full game preview from Yawkey Way live at 6. And Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe Red Sox Game Day Live. So the Sox will look to bounce back from a 11-9 loss last night to Toronto. Here, it's been all Hartford Colonials thus far. They lead at 17-0. Ryan Perilou into the ball game for his second offensive series. Good play fake. And looking for time, evades Parker on a rush. Got a step up, run inside the 20, stays in bounds, and gets it inside the 5-yard line. Nice little scramble there by Perilou. 16 yards.
The exciting part that he brings to the game, the ability to freeze a defender, start back up, but kick it back into third gear. Good job coming off the play fake. The smart move was he didn't throw the football there. It was perfectly covered by Sacramento. But look at him tiptoe down the sideline, and he doesn't go out of bounds. He lowers the shoulder.
And sets up the Colonials. First down and goal. The ball is at the Sacramento 4-yard line. As Perilou's going to throw, and he overthrows. He throws incomplete. Looked like he overthrew the front man, but actually was shooting for the backside. But Torres Johnson unable to come up with it.
I'm with you, Mike. I don't think he was. I think he was throwing the quick out to the tight end, and that just got away from him.
Tyson DeVry was his tight end going right across the goal line.
People forget Perilou, only 23 years old. Josh McCown has really taken this kid under his wing. Trying to teach him how to be a pro, how to conduct himself on the field, off the field.
On a second down and goal, he will give Lorenzo Booker, and he will crash his way for a couple. Set up a third down and goal to go.
Not a lot of running room for Booker on this one. Doesn't have the use of a tight end. They're in that ace personnel. Wouldn't be surprised if Chris Palmer tries to get Perilou back outside the pocket to give him that run option.
Schwab is into the game as the fullback out of the eye on this third down and goal to go. And it will go to Booker on a little delay, and he'll be brought down shy of the goal, and we'll set up a fourth down.
But that draw took a long time to develop, that delayed draw, and you're asking your offensive linemen to hold their blocks for a good 2.5 seconds here, and you're down in tight. That's hard to do on the goal line.
And Melhoff is into the game, product of Wisconsin, and the Colonials lining up for the Men's Warehouse field goal attempt. Men's Warehouse, you're going to like the way you look. It'll be a 20-yard attempt by Melhoff, who played in 3 games with the Saints back in 2008. And the snap down, the kick is on the way, and the kick is good. And that adds to the Colonials' lead. With exactly 5 minutes remaining in the first half, it is now Hartford 20 and Sacramento nothing.
He'll take the points, but Chris Palmer, I guarantee you, he's bugged right now, having it 1st and goal around the 4-3 yard line. He wants to come out of there with the touchdown.
Melhoff with his 2nd field goal in the afternoon. He's out of the University of Wisconsin in those 3 games of the Saints. Back in 08, he was 3 for 4 on field goals. He had 9 of his 10 extra points. It's a 4-play, 20-yard drive, took 2:04. And Melhoff with the 20-yard field goal. And that man, Dennis Greenzo, cannot be too thrilled with the way the first half has gone.
No, and as I said, Chris Palmer, I talked to him before the game. He was a little, not nervous, but unsure how things are going to unfold. He said, Denny's been around for a while. His staff has been intact. As John Chandler talked about earlier in the game, you returned 6-7 defensive guys up front for Sacramento. You would have to think that early in this football game, that not that they would be more prepared, but things would go their way a little bit more.
But instead, it's been all Hartford in this first half. They lead it 20-0 as Woods takes it and gets out across the 20, and then he is hit and brought down. Good coverage that time by the Colonials as they got down there. It is a 16-yard return.
4 minutes, 54 seconds left here in the first half. And if you're that guy, Dante Culpepper, you got to get your offense going. You got to think, we got to do something, even if it's a field goal. We got to get points on the board. We need something that we could build off as we go into halftime and come back out.
Colonials starting at their own 20, check that, make it the Mountain Lions starting at their own 23-yard line as Ross gets the give and goes nowhere. We'll head down to Tony on the sideline.
All right, guys, thanks. We're here with Ryan Paralleau. Ryan, you did the hard work. You had that nice long run, and then you couldn't finish it off. Come on.
Well, we're just coming out trying to execute. They came out, put some good things together on defense, but overall, I think we are playing a good game right now.
What's Josh McCown meant to you in terms of your mentoring, in terms of being roommates here in the hotel together?
Well, definitely just coming out and playing fast, trying to eliminate things and just slow the game down a little bit and just execute the game plan. We prepared for 40 practices, just coming out and execute.
All right, thanks. Ryan Paralleau back to the booth.
All right, thanks a lot. An incompletion as Culpepper was pressured. He was looking for Otis Amy, but the pass thrown shy, and it'll bring up another 3rd and long zone for Sacramento.
Yeah, Culpepper's starting to get frustrated. Looking back to see what the play's being called, and he's feeling people around his feet. He's starting to watch the pass rush. And what that does, it takes the ability to keep your eyes downfield and look at coverage and see how are the routes developing. When you start looking at guys coming after you, he's looking to run the football now.
He's out of the shotgun on the 3rd down and 9. He's got some time, and he will throw, knocked away. And again, it's Palmer. Stepped in front of Tay Biddle. Second nice defensive play of the half by Ryan Palmer.
Nice anticipation by Ryan Palmer, reading this route the whole way. I don't know if he's looking at the quarterback's eyes. I don't think he is. He's looking at that receiver. And Biddle did a good job getting up on him to make him turn his hips and go upfield. You as a wide receiver really need to press that defender. You need to sell it that you're going to run right by him if he's not going to turn those hips, or else you're going to break it out. It's kind of a soft route by Biddle.
Tom Malone with another kick, and it will roll, and stepping aside is the intended receiver, or Jason Cherry. Sunday at 9:30, check out the newest lineup from Nesson Original Entertainment after the game. Shining City and Pocket Money, 3 shows that are all new and are all made in New England. Learn more at Nesson.com/New England. 48-yard punt for Tom Malone. But the Hartford Colonials have been in control. A look there at Ryan Palmer, who has had a good first half. It's out of the University of Texas. Josh McCown back into the game. Schwab and Dixon in the backfield, but McCown's going to throw deep, and his receiver tripped up, incompletion. That was Jason Cherry. Coverage that time by Robert Bourne, and it's 2nd down.
I think that's a good no call right there. Incidental contact. Both Cherry and the defender running stride in stride. He may have had his left hand on him a little bit, but it was the legs that got tied up. The key there, the defender looking back and Bourne looking back inside on the football and trying to make a play on it.
2nd down and 10. That's Devry in motion. And the give coming to Dixon with a seam. And Andre Dixon is out close to the 40-yard line. It's a 12-yard gain on 2nd down.
A really nice job by being patient. Dixon allowing his blockers to get a nice fit on the defender. He's reading his blocks real well at this point. And as the game's going on, you're starting to see it right now, averaging almost 5 yards per carry.
And problem, it looked like for a moment with the handoff, and Dixon does get the ball and is able to struggle for a couple of yards out across the 40-yard line. Liam Ezekiel and Dontarius Thomas in on the stop for Sacramento. As a Northeastern guy, I'm going to get Ezekiel in Zoe as many times as I can.
I'm sure you will. How many Maryland guys in this game?
So it's a 2nd down and 8 yards to go now. The Colonials with the 20-point lead of the ball at their own 42-yard line. The count again to Dixon, and coming up quickly to fill the hole was Mike Tauiliili, who was Mike Brown when he played at Duke and then changed his name in 2006 to honor his Samoan heritage. Tauiliili on the tackle that time.
It's like a heat-seeking missile on that one. He read that all the way.
And looks like the Colonials going to let the clock run down to the 2-minute warning, and we'll deal with the 3rd down and 8. After that, a look there at McCown, then Chris Palmer. So it's been all Hartford thus far, a 20-0 lead. You're watching the United Football League on Nesson. Back at Rentschler Field, that is actor Denzel Washington on hand as his son John David Washington, a running back with Sacramento, on hand to watch his son's team play.
It's got to be his bodyguard, right?
I would say so. He doesn't look too thrilled at what's going on either.
Well, Tony has a bodyguard down there. Not that he needs one.
I was going to say, this is his state, is it not? 3rd down and 8. And one of the rare 3rd down and longs that the Colonials have had in this first half. Here's McCown with time to throw across the middle, and it is dropped as Cindric Steptoe, product out of the University of Arizona, had to go right through the legs at the 50-yard line.
It's a good stop by that Sacramento defense. Anytime they needed to make a play is now. Last thing they could do is give up some more points. Denzel Washington, though, one of my all-time favorite football movies, Remember the Titans.
Yes.
Coach Boone.
Jai Bond, who is playing in his first game in which he's had to wear a helmet and shoulder pads, gets the kick, and a penalty is down on the field, 34-yard kick. And we'll wait to see what the call is here as Woods signal for the fair catch.
There's no foul on the play.
And with no foul, we'll check in with John Chandler.
I just had a word with offensive coordinator Mike Kruzak. I asked him to assess Dante Culpepper's performance so far. He said he really couldn't blame Dante as much as the offensive line. Just hasn't had a lot of time to do anything. But the one person really missing on offense that's hurting Sacramento, they haven't gone to Corey Ross much at all. Ross, of course, was the UFL's returning leading rusher from last season, a product of Nebraska, and a guy that they really want to get involved in this offense. They spoke of having a balanced offensive attack. Well, it's been fairly unbalanced so far with very little production from Ross, very little carries from him so far, and down 20-0. It's going to be tough to get him in the game playing from that far behind, guys.
All right, an 11-yard completion from Culpepper to Rod Windsor as you look there at Corey Ross. And it will be a draw here. Look like a face mask, and a flag is thrown in there as Ross gets the ball out close to the 39-yard line.
Pretty obvious right here. Let's wait and see if it's going to be a 15-yarder. It probably should be.
Personal foul, face mask, number 58, defense. 15 from the end of the run, first down.
Take a look at Ross. You're going to see his helmet get grabbed, and anytime you do that, you pull that helmet back. They're going to protect the football player. Gives him an extra 15 yards. Sacramento here in 2-minute mode. It's a good opportunity for Culpepper, and they are in motion right now.
And we've got 3 flags down there. You saw the comparison of the yards.
Prior to the snap, illegal snap, 65 offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
On the center, Mike Mabry.
And Ross wasn't even set. Culpepper didn't expect it. No sense of urgency with this football team right now.
And Mabry, like his quarterback, product of Central Florida. So the penalty moves the Mountain Lions back into their own territory. First down and 15 now. Culpepper with time across the middle, and it is dropped. The intended target was Sonny Shackelford, but he couldn't hold on.
Well, as Mike Kruschek said, that you need to protect this quarterback. They're having a tough time getting open. A lot of these pressures that Culpepper is getting up front, they're not blitzes. They're only really rushing 4 or 5 guys at a time. The secondary for Hartford has done a heck of a job today. There's not a lot of guys running open for Dante Culpepper right now. And when they are, they're dropping the football.
As he has looked at a lot of second and third down long yardage situations, he is flushed out of the pocket here, throws on the run, and throws that one away, as it was Windsor the intended target. Nothing is going right, though, in this first half for Culpepper in this offense.
Now you have a 3rd and 15. Probably one of your more manageable third downs. I think they've had 3rd and longer.
Well, you know, they were moving the ball well, Zoe, and then they had that penalty, and it really slowed them down. Just over a minute remaining in the first half. Culpepper with time, steps up in the pocket, launches it deep down the middle. It's going to be intercepted. Ryan Glasper out of Boston College, the local product, will return it out back across the 30 as Glasper steps up. Southington, Connecticut, went to high school there. A 20-yard interception return, and the Colonials get the ball back.
Dante Culpepper has got to know that you can't hang the football like this over the middle of the field. He's staring down the middle, He steps up. He put so much arc on that he allowed the backside safety to read that the whole way. I mean, Ryan Glasper got a huge jump on that football. He wasn't 15 yards within that receiver on that, Mike, when Culpepper let that go.
As he came over and intercepted, he had played some in the Canadian Football League. McCown is back in there, and on the draw, will give it to Lorenzo Booker, and Lorenzo Booker with a nice carry and a flag down after he goes out of bounds following a 13-yard run.
Really starting to see the flags pick up now since you mentioned it, Mike.
Holding, 16 offense, 10 yards from the end of the run. Replay first down.
Patrick Carter, one of the receivers, flag. So he's saying I'm the jinx?
Boy, it was a clean game up to that point.
It certainly was. See Carter there.
It's a nice burst by Booker getting to the outside, though. Those were the things that he did so well at Florida State. You know, when they ran all of their offense out of the gun, he was the offset guy on third down. Made a killing on it.
So after the penalty, it'll be a first down at the Hartford 35-yard line. Under a minute remaining in the first half. Booker another carry, and he's grabbed by Schable from behind after a 1-yard gain.
Thought process changes now. If you didn't get the holding call, Booker got to the sideline. Maybe you're going to take a couple shots with McCown downfield, try and get another score on the board. But right now, with 27 ticks left, pretty content to let this clock go out and go into halftime with a 20-0 lead.
Josh McCown's had a nice first half. At last check, 9 for 13, 175 yards and a pair of touchdowns. One to Marquis White, the other to Jason Cherry. Second down and 8, and the give again to Booker. And he'll be grabbed and brought down after a 2-yard gain. And on that, the first half will come to a close, and a very solid opening half of football. So for the hometown Colonials, we'll check in now with Tony Terzi.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Ryan Glasper, the last time you played in this stadium as a BC Eagle, you were booed coming in.
Yeah, it was coming out of that tunnel over there to the right. I came out. I was recruited heavily by UConn. I made the decision to go to Boston College. I came out, and the whole section, the fan section, booed me on my way out.
Ryan, of course, from my alma mater, Southington High School. Hip, hip, Blue Knights. But, Ryan, what were you able to do against Dante Culpepper? To your credit, your defense didn't have to blitz at all in the first half.
We just prepared really well this week. We've been focused on taking care of the little things, the mental aspect of the game, and, the rest will take care of itself.
All right, good luck. Go get them at halftime. And we're heading it over to John and Coach Green.
All right, Tony, thank you very much. Here with Dennis Green. Looking at your first half, your offense very much out of sync. Could you assess the performance of Dante?
I think they're just beating us to the punch. I think defensively, we're just not playing very well. We're not getting them off the field. Offensively, we're just making too many plays. They're forcing us to throw the ball too much outside, and we haven't had the balanced attack that we got to have. So coming out, we just got to balance it.
Are you satisfied with the decisions Dante's making, the way he's throwing the ball?
He's just off. He's just a little bit. He's underthrown, overthrown a little bit. I think he's playing like a rusty quarterback, and so he needs to get unrusty real quick.
You talk about that balanced attack. We haven't seen much from Corey Ross, obviously the returning leading rusher. How do you get him involved in the second half down by 20?
Well, you got to get 3-4 yards when you run the ball. We've been running the ball, we're getting 1 or 2 yards. We got to get 3 to 4 yards when you run it, which gives you a better down and distance situation.
All right, Dennis, thank you very much. Let's send it back up to the booth.
All right, thanks a lot, John. A 20-0 Hartford lead at halftime. A great opening first half for the hometown Colonials. And we're back on Nesson in a moment. The United Football League on Nesson is presented by RotoHog and by Cutters. Mike Logan, Scott Solak back with you, along with Tony Terzi and John Chandler down on the sidelines. We're at Rentschler Field, and it's been a sunny start for the Colonials as Fabrizio Scaccia is set to kick it away. And back deep to receive, Torres Johnson for the Colonials. They have the 20-point lead. They're going to get the ball first to start in the second half. And the kick will take Johnson into the end zone. He's going to take it out with room to the 10. Gets a good block, breaks a tackle, and is out to the 22-yard line. Kai Brown on the tackle. He's out of Brown University. A 25-yard return by Johnson.
Well, you heard the halftime, and you look at Sacramento really getting ripped into on the offensive side of it. They netted 55 yards in that first half, Mike. You got a quarterback like Dante Culpepper, but more importantly, a running back like Ross. You got to find a way to get him the football. At some point, you need to make a play to get back in this game. You need to take it possession by possession.
Colonials start with the ball on their own 22-yard line. Andre Dixon is back in the backfield, but McCown to throw, looking our way, but it's incomplete as the ball thrown to the near side, but the pass was incomplete. Shahir McBride, there is a flag down on the field. It's like an ineligible man against the Colonials.
Ineligible receiver, number 86, downfield. Penalty is 5 yards. Replay, first down.
It's a tight end.
Doesn't make much sense.
Well, unless they had an unbalanced look there. I don't know what the exact set was. They had some sort of an odd bunch to the left side where they had 3 tight ends stacked. Now, if he's technically the tackle on that side, he's not allowed to release into route.
It's Ronnie Gint, product of Louisville, who's been in the NFL with both the Bengals and the Saints. And the handoff coming to Dixon right up the gut. And he'll struggle for a yard or 2, and that is it.
We'll see how Hartford plays with a 20-point lead as they start the second half. You don't want to take your foot off the gas.
We have a player on the field for the Colonials. That is Isaac Souls. He is the right guard, 6'3", 320 out of Indiana.
Chris Palmer likes the size of his offensive line. They average 319 pounds across the board. Let's take a look at Souls in the middle of your screen. Hard to really tell from that angle, but he's the guy that's under that pile.
So with a injury timeout on the field, we'll step aside and back to Hartford after this. Isaac Souls is up and walking off under his own power here, as we'll take a look at what happened, and Lewis Holmes winds up on his head.
Watch the left side of your screen. Watch the linebacker come flying in right there and land right on top of Souls' head. We couldn't see it from that side angle. That's the first angle we got, but the higher angle, and it looked scary at first. He's a big guy, as you said, Mike, 6'3", 320, but you have 245 pounds airborne landing on the back of your head.
It is a second down and 12 now as McCown back to throw, sets up a little screen. Booker's got it. He's got a couple of good blocks. First down and more. Booker into the open field. Booker is going to go all the way for a Hartford touchdown. Lorenzo Booker on the screen pass to the left. It winds up an 80-yard touchdown and a 26-0 Hartford lead.
Boy, was this a well-executed screen pass. This is the way you run the screen. Nice job by McCown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He sets his feet. You look at number 63 on the outside. Cameron Stevenson getting the block. Big number 70 right there. Keith Gray out in front. But that's all about Lorenzo Booker having the speed to get the daylight, split the safeties, and take it to the house.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Colonials as far as starting the second half, the way you ended the first, as the extra point is good. And Lorenzo Booker and the Colonials are up 27-0. We're back to Hartford after this. Well, the Colonials add to their halftime lead, now a 27-0 lead for Hartford as Melhoff is set to kick it away. But Zoe, just the start Chris Palmer, I'm sure, was looking for coming out of this second half.
Boy, I tell you what, Booker really has that second gear. We saw it on the run where he had right before the half ended. Got called back on a holding penalty. But he has the ability to get outside and find daylight.
Woods takes it at his 5, gets out across the 20, and is dropped shy of the 25-yard line. An 18-yard return. Let's head down to Tony.
Lorenzo Booker here with me on the sideline, and you're going to be buying dinner for number 80 tonight, aren't you?
Definitely. That's 3 big blocks he's thrown, and he reminded me before the play. Here comes number 3. Hey, he was right, so I gladly buy him dinner.
I told you when we were talking before the break here, or during the break, that Denzel Washington was in the house. What'd you have to say to that?
Well, this is second time attending one of my games. JD and I played in the National All-Star game together, and he got there before me, so he got to wear my number, but we became good friends, and at the opening kickoff, I told him, I said, whoever make the big play first, you got to get dinner. So I figure him being a Washington and all, I'm going to choose someplace expensive.
Lorenzo Booker has the Colonials up 27-0. Back to the booth.
Thanks, Tony. And for more information on the UFL, go to fanhouse.com, our AOL Fanhouse Sideline Report. And Lorenzo Booker is a happy man, as are his teammates, who are off to a tremendous start here in the opener, 27-0 lead. And it is a second down and 12 for Dante Culpeppers. It's been a tough opening day for he and his teammates. He's got time to throw, swings it this side, and he has brought down the receiver. Is Denzel Washington's son, John David Washington, a 4-yard gain, brought down by Clint McPeak.
So Booker called him JD. He went to Morehouse. There's another look at Denzel on the sidelines. But you got to wonder, why is it Sacramento utilizing the middle of this football field? Everything is outside to the numbers. It's all hitches, slants, curls, outs. There's a lot of space in the middle of that football field.
And again, they are faced with a third down and long. It's 3rd and 9 as Culpepper out of the shotgun. Near side, nice jumping catch by Rod Windsor. It is a 15-yard gain. The coverage by Kyle Whitehurst.
That's a nice throw right there by Culpepper. Call this a fade stop, where the defender is running with the receiver and he has his back to the quarterback, and all you do is throw it right to the back ear of the defender. And Windsor goes up and gets it at his highest point. That's a nice pitch and catch right there.
And a rare first down for Sacramento, as Culpepper just across the middle dumps it off. Washington breaks the tackle. He's into Colonial territory and brought down at the 49-yard line. Manny Collins coming up to make the stop after the 10-yard gain.
Culpepper sensing pressure here. Yeah, they do a nice job with the pocket, though. He steps up and take what the defense gives you at that point. It's better than forcing it.
And on the draw, and a big hit on Washington, as coming up is Danny Lansana, the product of Connecticut, after a 1-yard gain.
That's the way you lower the boom right here. Let's take a listen in real time. There's the crack. He didn't even have to hit and wrap.
We made Washington earn that yard, or it actually wasn't even a yard gain. And out of the shotgun, Culpepper across the middle, complete again to Windsor. He's become his favorite receiver. It's down to the 30-yard line. That's an 18-yard completion.
Controlled no huddle Sacramento's using right now, and that's what we're talking about, the middle of the football field. There's plays to be made, but you got to have courage to go over the middle like Windsor did there. Culpepper did a nice job taking care of him, placing the football nice and low, where you're not going to ask your receiver to get extended.
And with time, and he'll come to this side and complete it again to Windsor. And Whitehurst forces him out after an 8-yard gain.
You know, Mike, sometimes to get a quarterback going is the go-to minute. You know, I remember back when we were trailing the Minnesota Vikings that one year, I think it was back in 1994, Bledsoe went no huddle the whole second half, and it's about calling your plays that you feel confident you're going to hit. If you're the quarterback and you're running a controlled no huddle, you're not going to call something that you're not confident in. You're going to call the plays that you like, that you feel that you can throw in rhythm, and that's what Culpepper's doing on his drive. He's throwing in rhythm.
And by doing so, he's looking at short yardage situations on 2nd and 3rd downs instead of the long ones they've had most of the afternoon. Now he pump fakes. He was going to go long. He's going to step up and slide down right at the first down mark. You know, so early in the second quarter, we saw Sacramento start to move when they ran this offense. Then they had the penalty, and it totally took them out of their momentum.
They're called drive killers. You know, next thing you know, you're 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15. You know, they had a 2nd and 12 to start this drive. If it wasn't for the nice throw to Windsor on the catch along the sideline, and you take a look at his numbers right now, 6 for 6 on this drive. But here's your problem. You're in a little bit of a rhythm now. Now, granted, we do have an injury. He's looking to the sideline, trying to get the play in, trying to get his offense called.
That's Clint McPeak, a linebacker out of New Mexico, who is banged up for the Colonials. This really is the first drive we have seen any synchronicity, if you will, with this Sacramento offense, because it has been a frustrating afternoon thus far.
It's the first time we really called Windsor's name. You know, it was Amy early on.
Right. Well, McPeak got up, and you saw there, looked like that right knee gave out a little bit as he hopped up, and he is gingerly trying to advance. See Chris Palmer out there to the right with a headset.
Take a look at his right knee, the right side of your screen. Seems like something caught up in his knee. A lot of times that's a lateral meniscus. Makes your knee lock up.
And he'll be assisted to the Hartford sideline. So Isaac Souls banged up earlier in this quarter, and now Clint McPeak will be helped off the field. This Hartford defense so far has done an excellent job slowing down Culpepper. Sacramento is going to come out on an I set, one of the rare times they've run the I formation. The wing to the top of your screen. And it'll be Ross, who's back in the game. Great tackle by Julius Williams. He's another Connecticut product. And we'll slide down to John Chandler.
Yeah, guys, something to keep an eye on here with Corey Ross. When this drive started, he did not start the drive. He was getting worked on by the trainers in the upper body area. I'm told that he just had the wind knocked out of him, but certainly something to keep an eye on here, as we have not seen much or heard much from Corey Ross here this afternoon.
Well, they're trying to get him going, too. A little unbalanced look. That's not what you want out of your top back. Right at 2 yards per carry.
On a second down and 11, that is incomplete, as Tate Biddle was the intended target, and it again will set up another third down and long for Sacramento. And UFL Fantasy Pick'em, powered by RotoHog, award-winning fantasy sports. Play now for a chance to win tickets to the UFL Championship game. Look there at Clint McPeak on the Hartford sideline. Third down and 11. Culpepper feels the pressure, floats it up, caught, and it's a first down inside the 10. A 15-yard catch. Sonny Shackelford hauled it in.
Nice job by Dante Culpepper, filling pressure here, buying some extra time. Watch him hang. And what he did, he didn't try and throw this football through the wall. He put enough touch on it until his receiver could come out of his break and allow him to go downfield and make a room. Watch how he lays the football out to the sideline, away from the defender, and bring that receiver back down that stem.
First down and goal as Ross gets the call, and again, not much room. Vince Ogabasi was the first stumbling block there, forced him back in. And a 1-yard loss there by Ross.
Ross is a stout guy. And we saw Fred Taylor up here with New England. You look at a guy like Maurice Jones-Drew. He's got those big legs like LaRon McClain from Baltimore.
Ross played in 10 games with the Baltimore Ravens in the 06 and 07 seasons. His pass complete to Kai Brown, and Kenny Ingram drops him down after the 4-yard gain.
It's a nice easy play fake by Culpepper. All they did was bring the fullback from the other side. That's a good throw, keeping it out in front of him. Allows him to pick up 2 extra yards on that. You got to be thinking 2-down territory here. If you're not getting in on third, you're going for it on fourth.
Culpepper with 2 wide receivers, top of your screen. And he's going to have to take a timeout. You see what both teams have done. But
timeout, Sacramento. That is their first timeout of the second half.
Culpepper got up to the line there, Zoe. Didn't like what he saw.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
So you got a quick timeout coming here.
Timeout brought to you by ConAgra Foods Foundation. Child hunger ends here. Well, we've seen Culpepper get in a much better rhythm here in this third quarter after having really a tough start in the first half.
He's got his feet under him. He's throwing with timing. He's not sitting there waiting for things to develop downfield. He's not watching the rush like he was in the first half. His eyes are more focused upfield, taking care of his receivers and more worrying about the coverage that's being played.
Third and goal. Ball is at the Hartford 3-yard line. And Culpepper with a short drop. He's pressured. He throws, and it is incomplete. Ogabasi right at his shoe tops. It'll bring up fourth down.
It's a good job getting rid of the football. And one of the big rules that you have to remember here now with the UFL, quarterbacks can ground the football in the pocket, meaning between that tackle box, that extended line. Culpepper's in the pocket. He doesn't have to get outside the tackle, is where the tackles are moving, the line directly straight behind him, and get it to the line of scrimmage. He could do it directly behind the center.
And Sacramento is going to send out Fabrizio Scaccia to attempt the field goal. It'll be a 21-yard attempt. Good snap. And the kick on the way. And it is good. So Sacramento is on the board. It's 27-3. Hartford the lead. We're back to Rentschler Field in a moment. You can now follow Heidi, TC, Nauko, and the rest of your favorite Nesson personalities all in one place at Nesson.com/Twitter. Check it out today to get the latest news from Nesson's team, 140 characters at a time. Scaccia will kick it away as the Mountain Lions are on the board thanks to his 21-yard field goal. Well, it's still a big mountain to climb, a 24-point Hartford lead as he is into the football. And the Colonials will take it back across the 20. And that's Torres Johnson out across the 30 to the 32. It's a 25-yard return down to John Chandler.
All right, here with offensive coordinator Mike Kruzak, and you guys are on the board. Was there any thought to going for it on fourth down there?
There was some thought to it, but we really need to score at that point. Put points on the board. We just didn't have any continuity in the first half.
Talk about the momentum on that drive. It seemed like Dante really kind of found his rhythm with his own.
Well, we went to 4 wide receivers and tried a no huddle, and we had talked about no huddle all week, so we're going to go back to it and try and get our momentum through calling the stuff at the line of scrimmage. That's what he likes to do. He feels most comfortable doing it, and as you said, he found his rhythm in the first drive of this half. We got a lot of room, to go to catch up in this game. So hopefully we can continue this and turn these field goals into touchdowns.
I saw you just talking to him right there just a few moments ago. What did you say to Dante?
Well, we were talking about a particular pass concept where we're running all sticks routes at about 10, 11 yards, and the flat defender's running right to the outside, giving us the inside guy. So it was just talking about a particular read that he has to change in his own mind.
All right, Mike. Best of luck second half. Guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks, John. It was a 5-yard loss on the sack by Josh Leonard. Look there at Dante Culpepper. So second down. And 14, Ryan Perilou is back into the game for the Colonials. And the give comes to Andre Dixon. And he gets a couple of those yards back. Going to set up a third down and long.
Good stuff by Mike Kruzak there, talking about those stick routes, that passing tree. And that's what we alluded to. A lot of stuff to the outside throughout 2 quarters. And he's trying to convey to Dante, we can do some things on the inside. So they need to change the concept, the scheme of their routes to start looking at stuff over the middle of the field. Seems like it worked for them on that drive.
Certainly did, as they were able to move right down the field. Perilou out of the shotgun on a third down and 12. With some time across the middle, complete for a Hartford first down. That's Torres Johnson. Ware had the coverage, but a big gain of 17 yards and another Hartford first down.
Really good vision by Ryan Perilou on this. having to go over top of 2 defenders. Not only that, but stand in the pocket.
56.
Not able to follow through, and you could really see the arm strength on that.
Up there, Johnson, who made the reception. Perillou's done a pretty good job in his 3 offensive series, as that time Dixon doesn't have far to go. And we will head down to the sidelines to Tony.
All right, thanks very much, Mike. Andre Dixon, UConn fans will remember, wore number 2 for the Huskies when playing here at Rentschler Field, but he's wearing 26 this year, adding the 6 in honor of his former teammate, fallen teammate, Jasper Howard, who was stabbed almost a year ago on the UConn campus. He said there's not a day that goes by that he doesn't pray for and about Jasper and his family. Guys?
And a look there at the number on the back of Dixon on a 2nd down and 10. Now Perilou either changing things up or pointing things out to his offense as he is back to throw. Deep across the middle and a big hit on DeVry, the tight end, as coming up that time for Sacramento to lay the hit across the middle was Andrew Sendejo.
That's a tough throw right there. And you look at Tyson DeVry going up the seam. And we remember earlier in the game where it was Josh McCown that took care of the tight end, throwing the football a little bit to the back of his helmet so he wouldn't lead him up into that safety. And there's a case where you have a younger quarterback, 23, leading him a little more upfield right into the path of that safety. And that's why he had the bone-crushing hit.
3rd down and 9 for the Colonials now from their own 47. Perilou with some time, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. And the pass intended for Carter, but nice job by the Sacramento defense, so they'll get the ball back.
2 really good defensive series in a row for Denny Green's team, and he's got to feel good about that. But you can see right there, if they would have just got 7 points and you go for it on 4th down, and I completely disagree with the decision to kick a field goal there. They did that with 6.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. You get 7 points there, you get a quick stop, now you get the ball back, you score again, now you get a ball game.
The Australian, Jai Bond, gets the kickoff. It's a good one, as Woods takes it at his own 18, breaks 1 tackle down the sideline, stripped up from behind by Torres Johnson. And Sacramento will have a 1st and 10 when we return. You're watching the United Football League on Nesson. Well, the Mountain Lions get the football back and a chance to climb back into this one a little bit with 3:36 to go. As the last series we saw the offense get it going. As Culpepper will bring them up to the line here. Culpepper from his own 28-yard line will fire it, and it is quickly caught by Tate Biddle, and he is knocked down. We're going to check in with Tony. He's got an update on the injury to Clint McPeak.
Clint McPeak, condition on him. He was taken off the field with some help during the early stages of the 3rd quarter. Doctors tell me he's got some lateral pain in his right knee. There is a great deal of mobility, but for precautionary reasons, they're going to have it iced down the rest of the game. McPeak, out of New Mexico, a la Brian Urlacher, not going to return today.
All right, thanks, Tony, for the information. Culpepper throws deep as he's under pressure, and he oversails the receiver, and Trey Battle's going to pick up a penalty as he hit Tate Biddle after the ball was overthrown. As they will discuss it, our referee today is Perry Havener, and he's got some FaceTime as the game has gone on.
After the play, personal foul, 27 defense, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
As we were talking with UFL's Larry Upson prior to the game, that's 1, 2, 3 steps and you're into it. That's a good call, taking care of a defenseless receiver. Defenseless meaning, he's looking for the football, and the last thing you're doing is coming across the face. Could have been a lot worse, but that's a good job sending a message in week 1.
And with the penalty, Colonials get the Well, the Mountain Lions get the Colonial 48-yard line. Another completion here as that's Joe West taking it down inside the 45, 10-yard gain. And another Sacramento first down.
Good job, Dante Culpepper, policing things now. Knowing where his receivers are and starting to work the middle of those passing routes. He's hit a couple hitches. He's hit a couple curls. It might be a nice time for a double move.
Goes with a long count out of the shotgun this time. 4 receivers set. And on the draw, it'll come to Steve Baylock. And Baylock, product of a University of Massachusetts, not much on the carry.
It's one of the hard things to do as a quarterback when you're in that 2-minute mode. Know when and when not to call that draw play. You don't know if you're getting a pass rush, if they're laying their ears back. Ideally, you want to run it right into the teeth of the defense when they're coming at you.
See Kenny Ingram slowing down Baylock. Baylock just the 3rd player in Division I AA history to post 4 1,000-yard rushing seasons while at UMass. Culpepper will just dump it off over the middle. And it goes incomplete. He was trying to get it to Baylock, but again, Ingram had good coverage.
Did a nice job getting rid of the football there, but things coming together for him here in the second half. Prior to that pass, he's 10 of 12, 10 of 13 now. He's not going to fool you. He's going to sit in that pocket. Quarterbacks like himself, Ben Roethlisberger, they have the ability to sit in there, and you really got to know as a referee when to blow that whistle when you have a guy in the grasp.
So we were talking about it with the rule where they can ground the football as long as the ball makes it back to the line of scrimmage. As long as you have a heads-up quarterback, you can take some chances and run some different plays that you can't in the NFL.
Please put 1:26 on the clock. 1:26.
No, you're right, Mike. Say you're back in the pocket and you're running just a single-man route or a combo route with only a second receiver and things aren't developing downfield and you feel pressure. You can throw it at the feet of your center up front as long as you make it back to the line of scrimmage.
Another 3rd down and long for Sacramento from the Hartford 38-yard line. Culpepper with time across the middle, incomplete as Shackelford, the intended receiver, couldn't hang on.
Maurice Fountain, number 99, applied the pressure on the backside to Dante Culpepper, and he hit him as he was throwing. Good job by Hartford beating all one-on-one blocks today. Not a lot of double blocks, but they've won the one-on-one battles up front. They've owned the trenches today.
Tom Malone, who has had a punt block today in the first half. Marshall McDuffie got it for Hartford. And this time able to get the kick away. Nice high kick. And Steptoe will let it bounce. Going to be down inside the 5, down around the 1-yard line. So the Colonials will have a ways to go, 37-yard punt. And we're back to Rensselaer Field in a moment. Look at the crowd on hand here this afternoon at Rensselaer Field, and the home crowd has liked what they have seen as the Colonials have a 27-3 lead. We have a minute and 11 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Josh McCown back into the game at quarterback as his team starting at their own 1-yard line. Goes with a long count this time. Short drop, throws. That is complete to Carter. And that gets out close to the 9-yard line. 7-yard gain. Robert Bourne on the tackle.
You wonder at times like that on the 1-yard line if Chris Palmer would change things up a little bit, maybe put Perilou in to see how he handles that situation. Backed up. Is he going to be able to play safe? Is he going to be able to take care of the football? I think he knows he has that in McCown.
Well, Scott, you played under Chris Palmer. He was a member of the Patriots coaching staff in the early to mid-'90s. What makes him so good offensively?
Technically, he teaches things well to the quarterback position. And meaning the beginning of March, April through May, we would spend countless hours on the practice field and he would have this old Sid Gilman net up, and it's about throwing for spots, and it's all technique, and he would film everything, and he would tie your feet together. It's all about footwork, body mechanics, keeping your body under control. And that's the tough part as a quarterback, because when you're under duress and that pocket's breaking down, you know, the first thing you want to do is drop the football down and keep it in one hand and start to run.
Well, 3 quarters are in the books, and Hartford has the lead. As we'll return to Rentschler Field in a moment, you're watching United Football League on NESN. The United Football League on NESN is presented by Wilson and by Custom Bite. As we are set to go on the start of the 4th quarter, Chris Palmer, Zoe, is going to be a happy man with what his offense has done thus far. 27 points, first 3 quarters.
Yeah, he's got to be excited about it. They've shown the ability to run the football. They've hit some play-action passes. He's gotten production out of both quarterbacks, and on special teams, you block a punt in game 1. You're very excited about that.
Dixon on the first down carry right into the middle of the line, and about a 3-yard gain on that first-yard carry.
Temper's starting to flare out there, letting them play a little bit.
Going to be a disappointing start for Sacramento. We were talking before we went on the air, you know, you look at both of the rosters of this team, and a lot of talent and a lot of experience on the Sacramento sidelines.
Yeah, but you still have to go out and you still have to play. It's so hard, regardless of what league you're in, to carry over from last year what you're going to do this year. There's such a time lapse in between. In essence, you're a new team each and every year.
Here's Dixon, gets it out across the 25 to the 28-yard line. 4-yard carry will set up a 3rd down and short for Hartford, and with a 24-point lead, very happy to keep it on the ground.
Boy, Dixon really showed me something today. Not that this game's over, but his ability to pick his feet up and put them down and allow his blockers to block it. So many times young running backs will run up and hit the lineman right in the back when the hole's not there. And you got to have that delay in yourself where you could allow stuff to happen, have vision to look back and have that cutback ability, and he's done that multiple times today.
Hartford with a 3rd down and 2, short pass through the hands of the intended receiver, as that was Torres Johnson, and the ball will go back over to Sacramento.
It's good timing by McCown. He realizes that, hey, the pressure's coming. That's a quick timing route. Johnson's got to get his head around, find that football.
Jai Bond out there, former Australian rules football player, has time and gets the ball away. And here's Woods getting away from one defender, 2, and forced out of bounds by Joe Mortensen. So Sacramento will have the ball when we return to Rentschler Field. 4th quarter action coming up. Colonials have the 24-point lead. Let's take a look now at the Cutters' catch of the game, and it belongs to Jason Cherry of the Hartford Colonials on this long play that wound up being a touchdown. The catch of the game brought to you by Cutters. No other glove performs like this. So one of 2 big plays for the Hartford offense today. The other one, the 80-yard touchdown by Lorenzo Booker on the screenplay.
Yeah, two nice jobs of both guys getting out the gate, setting the tone early, getting up on the receiver. Just take a look at Culpepper here, getting the drive started with the draw. Sense of urgency now for Sacramento, and I don't know if they really feel they got a chance in this football game, but they got to pick up the tempo, they got to pick up the pace. At some point, you're going to have to go downfield and take a shot.
On the 2nd down, again, they'll go to Ross right up the middle. And he is out across the 35 on a 4-yard carry.
Odd play selection. 27-3 you trail, and you start your drive with 2 draws.
They'll bring up a third down and short. Sacramento has not had a lot of these on the afternoon. And that's Klutz, the fullback. And the give's going to come to Ross. And he gets the first down, it does appear. Joe Mortensen on the stop for Hartford.
Let's take a look at it. I think he might be short here, Mike. Yeah, they're going to call it 4th and 1.
And down 24. That's another look.
You're telling everybody in the stadium where you're going. Both tight ends to the top of your screen. Fullback, he comes out going left.
And on the keeper, Culpepper just put his head down, lunge forward, and it's going to be one of those deals that's going to all matter on the spot of the football. And it looks like, from the way they're spotting it, he's got the first down.
Guy that size, you should be able to lean on him.
And let's head down to Tony.
All right, we're here with Jai Bond, the new professional punter. Your friends at home are going to look at you and say, man, you look weird with that uniform on.
Yeah, well, hopefully they think I look all right. But no, I need it because my last punt I got absolutely worked over in the corner there. So I think I needed my helmet and pads for sure.
Yeah, but tell me, Darren Bennett, then we've got Sav Rocca with the Eagles, and now Jai Bond, you the next one on the scene?
Look, that'd be a great result. I mean, I've just got to do my job for the Colonials here, and we'll see what happens after that.
Is this the first time you've actually ever put on a uniform?
Yep, full uniform, first time, first game, first everything. So it's been awesome. We're doing really well. So
beautiful.
It's making it even better.
All right, Jai Bond, thank you very much. You're watching the UFL on Nesson with the score: the Colonials 27 and the Sacramento Mountain Lions 3.
Back to Hartford. Colonials have the lead coming out of a Sacramento timeout. And the timeout brought to you by ConAgra Foods Foundation. Child hunger ends here. Out of the timeout. It's a first down and 10 for Dante Culpepper and the Sacramento offense from their own 39-yard line. Culpepper with some time. Going to air it out deep down the sideline, and it is knocked away at the last moment by Marcus Brown out of McNeese State, as he and Windsor were in a pretty good battle.
Yeah, Windsor had a nice step on Brown. Culpepper's got to throw that football, let that thing go just a second earlier, and he would have had a chance at that. But it goes to show you both teams, which one's more prepared than the other. See, he left that ball to the inside. If you do what McCown did with Cherry and throw that ball outside.
22 defense, 5 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
And that play all for naught as they got Brown with a illegal use of the hands. So a 5-yard penalty and another first down for Sacramento.
Still odd to start this drive, though. 2 draw plays, a quarterback sneak, and then you had the wrong personnel in the huddle. You had to waste the timeout.
All on the 44-yard line. Culpepper fires over the head of Corey Ross, the intended receiver.
There's no question Dante Culpepper can take a hit. But the inaccuracies come in really when he's under duress.
Third, Maurice Fountain.
Fountain's played a nice job. Did a nice job today applying pressure to the quarterback in one-on-one situations. Those 4 guys with their hands down, they got to go to the quarterback. Now it's a matter of defensively, do you want to bring 5, you want to bring 6, and you see the delayed blitz right there.
And a diving catch by Tate Biddle along the sidelines.
First time we saw the corner blitz. Sorry, Mike. Culpepper looking left the whole way, and right there, Whitehurst coming in from the left side, number 21, Kyle Whitehurst. So they brought the 4 down. They brought 1 linebacker, and then they brought Whitehurst from the left corner.
Sets up a 3rd down and 3 for the Colonials. Culpepper with some time will go to the sideline and complete it there to Shackelford, who makes a nice catch for another first down, a 6-yard gain.
Anything you can take at this point. It's not really even a nickel look. He's got a lot of velocity on his football. There's no question Dante Culpepper can still make all the throws. It's, can he put 12 of them together?
Well, and after struggling in the first half, he's looked much better here in the second half. Fakes the draw, steps up deep down the middle, knocked away. And is there a flag? Yes, there is, down at the 15-yard line. And are they saying that the ball was tipped? Let's see. It's Marshall McDuffie on the coverage for Hartford.
There's no foul for pass interference. The ball was tipped to the line of scrimmage. Incomplete.
Let's try and see if there was a deflection right here. Looks like number 69, Jonas Seahart. Once that ball is deflected at the line of scrimmage, that's a free ball. You can hit those receivers.
Culpepper down, a 2nd down and 10. Pocket breaks down. He's able to get it to Ross. Ross with room across the 30, breaks a tackle. Ross is going to get inside the 20 and is driven out of bounds down around the 16-yard line by Marcus Brown.
I don't know if this is a set screen or if this is just straight pressure. You see the backside guard free release, and he's going downfield, so that looks like that was a screen pass all the way. It's a nice job by Ross finding Culpepper in trouble.
27-yard gain down to the Hartford 16-yard line. Clock right now, though, an ally for the Colonials with the 24-point lead. Culpepper with some time again across the middle, completes to Tate Biddle. He is tripped up and gets down inside the 5-yard line. Going to be a first down and goal from there. 12 yards on the pass completion by Culpepper.
So you mentioned the clock, Mike, and here you go. You get a big play. You got it 1st and goal right now at the 4, and you're taking your time, getting in the huddle, running other personnel onto the field. They're bringing more people out of the huddle. You got to hit that play, and you got to get your team up there and have another play called and ready to go.
It's Teo Johnson in motion, and a little toss to Ross, and he gets to the 5-yard line. It's that guy again, Maurice Fountain out of Clemson with the tackle.
Shouldn't even be thinking about running the football with 8 minutes left in the game. And you're down 27-3. You got to throw it 4 times in the end zone. If you stop the clock, you stop the clock.
A loss of 1 on that play. And again, clock now inside 8 minutes to go. And the ball at the Hartford 5-yard line. Culpepper with time to the end zone. Caught, touchdown. Nice grab by Joe West. And it is the first touchdown of the afternoon for Sacramento.
Nice throw, nice catch. Tell me why you couldn't have done that a minute and a half ago. I mean, he even had motion going on that play. But it's a good catch. Gets his feet set under him. And puts the ball up nice and high, only where his guy can get it.
Skachia to attempt the extra point. And it is good. So the Mount Lions move to within 17 with just 7:37 to go. We're back to Rentschler Field after this. 27-10, Sacramento, moment ago, scoring its first touchdown. You see the drive there, 12 plays, 72 yards, and it certainly has been a different Dante Culpepper in the second half. As Joe West with the touchdown. As the Ball is in the air. And the Colonials set for the return with room. This is Torres Johnson, loses the football and grabbed it back, and it is grabbed by a teammate. They pick it up trying to run. That's Lawrence. But Johnson's lucky there. That ball popped right out, up in the air.
Then you're thinking, oh, wow, should we kick that field goal at that point, or will we have a two-possession game?
We'll head to break. 27-10, Hartford the lead. We're back in Hartford. Let's check in with John Chandler.
All right, thank you very much down here on Sacramento sidelines with Dante Culpepper. Dante, let's start with this. You find the end zone, a nice throw off the back shoulder of your receiver. That had to feel really good for you after the first half.
Yeah, I mean, under the circumstances, it felt good. But right now, we're trying to just get the ball back and try to get another quick score before, it gets too much time taken off.
What's been the difference first half to second half for you right now?
I think you just have to execute offensively. That's all I can talk about offensively. We have to execute better. We came out, we were a little flat, just out of sync. And the last two drives, we got some plays going. We just got to continue to compound that with better plays and more plays.
For you, I mean, you put a lot of pressure on yourself here, showcasing yourself, trying to get back to the NFL. Was there, in that first half, a measure of pressure? Was it nerves for you, or was it just getting comfortable with these teammates of yours?
Just getting comfortable. Ain't really, more pressure than I put on myself than anybody can put on me. It's all about us coming out here executing. That's all it's all about, and hopefully getting the win. This one, it's 6 minutes, 11 to 7 minutes left. Who knows what can happen? But in my mentality right now is to go out and just try to, next time we get the ball, get a touchdown.
Let's talk about this second half. Do you feel comfortable with the decisions you're making and the way you're throwing the football?
Oh, I mean, I'm comfortable with us going down and getting a touchdown in the last drive. I'll say that. I just want to, continue to do that and hopefully get us some more points before this game's over.
All right, Dante Culpepper, thank you for your time. Best of luck. Yep. All right, let's send it back up to the booth.
All right, thanks, John. And remember, for more information on the UFL, go to fanhouse.com.
That is your third and final timeout. It will be a 30-second timeout.
And Zoe, they call a timeout. It's a third down and long for the Colonials. So it's a situation if Hartford can get a first down here, good chance to run another 2 or 3 minutes off the clock where they're out of timeouts.
Sure, but I want to go back down to the sideline. Dante Culpepper could put John Chandler in his back pocket. That's how big that guy is. It's amazing how big he is for a quarterback. But now you're completely right, Mike. Right now, Chris Palmer's telling his team, this is where we win football games. We got to learn how to finish it. It starts in week 1.
And we remind you, tonight at 11, join Cole Wright for Nesson Daily, presented by Sun Life Financial. You won't want to miss the Patriots and the Jets preview. That and more, it's coming up tonight at 11, only on Nesson Daily.
Well, it's a quick game.
So out of the Sacramento timeout, it is a third down and 8. Count in their quarterback for Hartford. And on the draw, runs it to Lorenzo Booker. Nice cut. Booker has got almost a first down, but he stepped out of bounds, and a late flag thrown in there. So let's wait to see what the call is. Looks like Booker went out of bounds shy of the marker. Let's wait to see what the flag is going to be.
Personal foul, face mask, 57 defense, 15 yards in a run, first down.
Penalty there on Zeke Marino.
What a great run by Booker here. And you're thinking, as good as this run was, he went out of bounds before he got to the sticks. He's going to kill himself for this one. But you take a look at the face mask right here. This is the second time we saw this call today. 15 yards you're getting. Anytime you grab that face mask of a player and turn that helmet, these officials are going to flag you every time. Pretty even on the penalties, though, Mike. 5 and 7.
Yeah, really not as many as you had the feel the way the game was going. Colonials have the ball right at midfield. And the handoff comes this time. That is the third back to Wayne Wright. He is out of Fresno State at some time with the Buffalo Bills back in 2007, and he lost 3 on that carry.
That's a good push by Sacramento defensively up front. Number 22, Dennis Keys, he's going to get this play going. You're going to see him on the bottom of your screen come slashing in. Right there, and now Booker, which forces him to go back a little bit. Then it's about pursuit, getting around the football.
Right now, Hartford with that 17-point lead, content to take as much time between plays. And again, it'll be a running play, and again, it'll come to right. You won't get much room there. About 5 white jerseys around after the 2-yard gain.
See what happens when you're undisciplined on the offensive side of it. You had to burn some timeouts earlier in the half. Now you're left with basically none if you're Sacramento, and time is your enemy right now. You got 4 minutes and 47 seconds left in this ball game, and you can't stop the clock. But you learn from your mistakes. I mean, this would be good teaching film for Dennis Green and Mike Kruzek and company. You know, they've got to sit down and retool some things offensively. I'm sure they'll get in sync as the season goes on.
And McCown will give on the draw with some room. Here's Lorenzo Booker, and he's able to break it free for another Hartford first down. An 11-yard run on 3rd down.
That's a backbreaker right there. Not only did you get a face mask for a penalty, a personal foul to help keep a drive alive. Anytime you give up screens and draws and 3rd and long, they are so deflating to defense. If you're Chris Palmer, I mean, I know you like Josh McCown as your quarterback, and you're going to dose people with Paraloo. But Booker at 48 yards, you got Dixon. I mean, you got a pretty good 1-2 punch at running back, and that's got to get you excited after week 1.
Oh, absolutely what we're seeing today. Here's Wright again for a carry. No yards at all there, but at this point, you're not worried about the yards, so you're worried about taking that time off the clock inside 3.5 minutes.
No, you're right. And then back to these running backs. Dixon's one of those guys that's going to be kind of your counter runner, and he's going to stay between tackles, and he's going to get the hard yards. Booker's looking for daylight. He's looking to get to the sideline. So it's going to create problems for defensive coordinators as this season goes on.
He had the big 80-yard touchdown on the screen pass early in the second half. That pushed the Colonials' lead up to 27-0. And now again, it'll be Wright with a seam. Wright gets to the 30. Wright is down inside the 20. It'll be another Hartford first down. Nice little run by the 5'11", 228-pound running back. An 18-yard gain.
Take a look at the receiver that's going to be at your near side on the screen. Number 81. Shair getting it done. I mean, you can tell who the well-coached football teams are. Shair McBride blocking downfield. Well-coached football teams, it's not about just running routes. It's about staying on, giving guys a chance. Because you didn't know that play was going to bounce outside to your side.
Another first down and 10 for the 19. Again, Wright the call. A couple of cute little moves inside to get down to the 16-yard line. As we are at the 2-minute warning, we'll step aside and return to the end of the game in a moment. The United Football League on Nesson is brought to you by Men's Warehouse, the official men's retail clothing store of the United Football League. Men's Warehouse, you're going to like the way you look. By AOL Fan House. For more information on the United Football League, go to fanhouse.com. And by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to shop for insurance.
56 is eligible. 56. 56.
See the score and the time remaining here as the Hartford Colonials are going to get a victory in their opener here in the 2010 season. As they go with an eye backfield this time, Wright the carry, and he's corralled by white jerseys. At this point, just hold on to the football. Lost 4 on that carry.
I think it's safe to say that it looks like Sacramento's playing their first game of the season, and it would seem that Hartford's at about week 4, week 5 right now if you're trying to compare the teams and the level of efficiency, which team's ready to play, which team's not. Not to say that Sacramento didn't have a hard camp, and talking to those guys, it seems like they did. They were looking forward to playing today, to getting out and hitting somebody else.
Colonials, though, came out, got an early touchdown, and really never looked back. They led 20-0 at halftime. And again, Wright with the carry, and again he is gang tackled for no gain, as we'll run down near a minute remaining in the game.
It's obvious that everybody you're going to talk about with this Hartford team, it's going to fall on the offensive side of the ball. McCown's a name, and you have Dixon and Booker show some flashes. Cherry could get downfield, but as this season goes on, it's this defense that has played well today and really put them in good spots and given them good field position to start this football game.
They slowed down the Sacramento offense in the first half. They shut them out in the first half. Allowed their offense to get out and get an early lead as what should be the final play of the game, and now McCown's going to take a timeout.
Timeout, Hartford. That'll be a 30-second timeout.
Josh McCown over to talk to Chris Palmer. Of course, Chris Palmer, with a long and distinguished coaching career, was the head coach at New Haven, along with Boston University in the college ranks. We'll touch on that in a moment. We remind you the Sox take on the Toronto Blue Jays at Fenway Park tonight. Join TC and Peter Gammons for a full game preview from Yawkey Way, live at 6 on the Olympia Sports Presents the Boston Globe Red Sox Game Day Live. As out of the timeout on a 4th down and 10. McCown will again give it to Wright, and he'll just pull his way up the middle down around the 15-yard line. The clock will stop here on the change of possession with 19 seconds remaining, and Sacramento's offense will get 1 or 2 more plays to run before the end of this one. And that guy right there had a pretty good afternoon, Josh McCown.
That's why you brought him here. Teach this offense how to play football. You get a guy that's done it at the National Football League, and you now understand why they rotate people. Everybody's going to play on this football team. It's about developing players and getting noticed.
Culpepper, in the waning moments, is hit from behind as the rush came from Austin English on the sack that most likely is going to end the game. And as Culpepper is late to get up as they give the victory bath to Chris Palmer, and the Hartford Colonials inaugural game goes in the win column as they defeat Sacramento here 27-10. Join us again for more United Football League action Saturday, October 16th, 3 p.m. when the Hartford Colonials take on the Omaha Nighthawks, led by Jeff Garcia. This has been a presentation of Nesson, New England's most watched sports network. Stay tuned after the game, followed by the Red Sox Game Day Live with TC and Peter Gammons. For Scott Zolak and the crew, I'm Mike Logan. Good evening from Rentschler Field.